Olympian Kaillie Humphries sobs when presenting Trump with her medal for standing up to keep biological women in women's sports, to keep the field of play safe and allow for fair competition. Humphries presented Trump with an Order of Ichos medal. On Thursday, an emotional Kaillie Humphries gave President Donald Trump her Order of Ichos. The Order of Ichos is a medal given by a Team USA athlete to someone who has contributed significantly to their achievement. At a White House Women's History Month event on Thursday, March 12th, the president honored Humphries, a Canadian naturalized citizen who earned 2 bronze medals for the United States in bobsledding at the 2026 Milan Cortina Olympics. Humphries opened out about how her 2.5-year IVF quest of parenthood affected her business after she started crying. Describing herself as a legal immigrant, she went on to explain that every Olympic medalist in the United States gets an Order of Ichos that they get to hand to somebody in honor and recognition of somebody who's made a meaningful contribution to their journey to the podium, because Olympic medals are never achieved alone. Following applause from the audience, Trump gave Humphries a shoulder tap and said, "I knew I liked her." Humphries stated that she was giving Trump the medal to recognize the support and the impact you've had on women's sports throughout the Olympic movement, specifically standing up to keep biological women in women's sports, to keep the field of play safe and allow for fair competition. Additionally, since your policies are making IVF more accessible, families like mine can continue to grow as I want to start and increase my family once more, she went on. "I think this also makes you the first president in history to receive an Order of Ichos," Humphries remarked. In February 2025, Trump issued an executive order mandating policy recommendations to protect IVF access and aggressively reduce out-of-pocket and health plan costs for such treatments. He also signed Executive Order 14201 the same month. Based on the male and female categories of Executive Order 14168, the Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports order attempts to prevent transgender women from participating on women's sports teams. In compliance with Executive Order 14201, the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee prohibited transgender women from competing in July 2025. The organization is committed to protecting opportunities for athletes participating in sport, even if the term transgender is not mentioned in the athlete safety policy. In accordance with Executive Order 14201 and the Ted Stevens Olympic and Amateur Sports Act, 36 U.S.C. Section 22501, et. Sec. The USOP will continue to work with various stakeholders with oversight responsibilities, such as IOC, IPC, and NGBs, to guarantee that women have a fair and safe competition environment. The document continues. Kaillie Humphries' act of handing her Order of Ichos medal to Donald Trump was more than a ceremonial gesture. It was a culmination of a personal journey as an athlete, an immigrant, and a mother, and a clear endorsement of political policies she believes matter. That intersection of personal narrative with national policy stirred strong reactions because it sits at the heart of current cultural and political divides. On one side are advocates for strict biological eligibility rules in sports and policies prioritizing fairness as they define it. On the other side are those who see such rules as exclusionary and discriminatory toward transgender people. The addition of reproductive policy to the mix makes this even more complex, tying healthcare access to political identity in a highly polarized environment. This episode signals how U.S. sports policy is now part of broader social debates rather than being confined to locker rooms and arenas. It also shows how individual athletes can leverage their platforms to influence national discourse. Whether one agrees or disagrees with the positions represented, the moment reveals a powerful role of sport as a reflection of society's toughest questions about fairness, identity, and rights.